All right, my people. It is a Tuesday, so it means it's another day with Nate. Um, so, what's going on, my people? All right. What is going on, Funko Pop guy? Well, it was a good week. Today is Tuesday. What is up, Mike? So, let me send this out to a couple people. Get this spun up some. All right. What's going on, Solo? Glad you can make it, man. So this week, if you guys saw last week's I did was my first one. So going to try to do it kind of topic related each week if possible. I know everybody's got a lot of questions and everything out there, so I try to answer those as they come up. So definitely ask away, ask anything you want to ask. But haul related, toy related, comic related, anything. I mean, that's what this is for, and just to try to see what the interest is for everybody. But yeah, so far we got 4 people in the room, so thank you guys for coming by. I appreciate it. Definitely enjoy doing this with you guys. Love that interaction. All right. So, let me get this shared out. Excuse me. Alright, copy this, get it around. Yes, I am, guys. I am reading, I've read all of it so far, up through Metal number 2, and then the last, the Red Death. So I've still got to read the next ones, the Machine one, as well as Nightwing. I still need to read the Nightwing one. I still have not read that yet. But it's definitely an interesting read, to say the least. Because if you guys know anything about the way the series has been, it's been talking about the nth metal, which is what Batman's been dealing with, his whole life. It was talked about in the Court of Owls. It was talked about throughout the different areas of the DC universe. We heard about Batonium, being the last metal, the 9th metal, So it's been definitely interesting. And let me just throw this up. So the biggest thing is just to keep it entertaining, which is what I like DC's doing. What is up, Ricky Dones? How you doing, man? Cause Slim Tim, welcome back. You were here last week, man. I appreciate you being here. So the biggest thing is that with the Batman series right now is that they're going to go see how it's going to be turned around, with that. Hey Joe, welcome. Gary, welcome. Gary, you're a new subscriber. Thank you for subscribing, brother. I appreciate it. So it's been an interesting read, and I like that it's a set amount of books. It wasn't like Secret Empire, which had 1,000 books interjected with it. So you had to read the main series, then all the tie-ins for it to make a lot more sense. Um, and to me, that's kind of BS in my book. I like these short ones. Like the Legacy that Marvel's coming out with now has been awesome. I read through the first issue of that already. It's nice to see them go back to the classic style of writing, go back to the old days, the way they were doing it back in the 70s and 80s, and some of the 90s, before we had all these rewrites, redos through the 2000s, and then up till recently. Because I think a lot of the comic community is getting tired of all the reboots. So I just want to see this get turned around and be kind of stable for a while. And guys, let me know. Can you guys hear me fine out there? Hey, SoCal. Hey, what's going on, Bob? Rob Payne? Good. Yeah, I figured I'd try to do it with the phone. The phone is a lot better than it was with the webcam. They kept messing up. Are you ready for NYCC? I'm ready for some of the things to come out of NYCC. I am definitely not going. Um, what I do want to see is that Old Man Logan pop and that Walking Dead Dwight pop, which I just saw pictures of today. So definitely want those, as well as the what was it, that Power Rangers Legacy 3-pack. Um, yep, I've already got that Mezco on pre-order. As soon as it came out, I pre-ordered it because I wanted that yellow and blue suit one. Because everybody knows Wolverine and Deadpool are my favorite ones. What is up, Jaime? Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the same way, SoCal. Nostalgic underscore negotiators in the house. What is up, my brother from Japan? The Revenant Hulk. It's my boy Tony. Tony, how you doing, man? Yeah, you're making the big bucks, aren't you, over there in Japan? Um, yeah, it's just the NYCC. You know, just I don't know. There's just not a lot there. They really didn't have a lot of figure related stuff out there. You know, Mesco's got the Wolverine, we've got the Power Rangers Legacy thing, but that's about it. I mean, I really didn't see nothing big revealed. You know, they might reveal some stuff there. Hasbro, I heard, was going to be there, so they might reveal some more of the Power of the Prime stuff from Transformers, but I don't see a huge lot of stuff being released at there. It seemed like this is mostly um, Funko related. Oh, man, you're making me hungry, dude. I haven't had taco rice in forever. Um, yeah, nostalgic. I never made any money either when I was in the military. Raymond asks, are you getting the Revoltech Wolverine? Probably. I pretty much collect anything Wolverine. The only reason why I was hesitant about it isn't, and I even saw it um, Saturday, is just because of those shoulders, you know, on Deadpool. That was one thing that I didn't like, because I've seen so many of them pop off and break off, but the Wolverine looks like it's made a lot better, so I probably will end up eventually picking that up. BMR91 asks, did you pre-order the Deadpool? Yes, I did, on site, and as soon as I saw it, I put a link out there for everybody else, and I tried to tag everybody I could in it. But the biggest thing about the Revoltech ones is that you just got to be careful. Like, I have some of the old Transformer ones, like the Rodimus Prime and the Optimus Prime, and they were complete garbage. They really were. I mean, they were articulate a little bit, but you had to be so careful with them. You know, they would break in so many joints and pieces. Like, Rodimus ended up being like 18 pieces because I ended up like trying to push him, you know, like move him around and get him like that, and his leg snapped off and all the insides fell out. So that's why I'm kind of hesitant about getting those Revoltech, because I've had a bad experience with them. But the new one looks a lot better. I'll say that, though. That's for sure. Um, but I am excited for that Deadpool. And then I, of course, thanks to my boy Mark DeRosa, you know, opened up this guy, kind of suited him up, you know, put all of his weapons on him. The only thing I don't like about this one, of course, is like the regular X-Men one, the leg holster. or the leg scabbard, so you can put the dagger in it. So I ended up just putting the dagger right there. Um, yeah, yeah, but you know something, Slim Tim, if you have to give me extra joints because you know that it's going to break, it's just that I just don't know if that's worth it. I've had transformers like that. Um, Tony asked, you going to show off? No, I am definitely not going to show off. I'm happy to have that. I would not have got that today if it wasn't for my boy Dope Toys New York, because he hooked me up with that, and he was able to get me. Let me see if I can get it out of here. He got me the RC. Now, this RC, guys, is going to be on Toys R Us here in the next couple of days. So if you guys look on the Syndicate page, then you guys should have saw the link I put out there for Toys R Us to go get it. It's going to be the same exact thing, so go on and get it. Apple juice, that's what's up. Got mine. Hey Eric, welcome brother. I got my sweet tea. That's my drink. Is RC a true exclusive? In the exclusive box, I believe so. SoCal. Hey Eric. So I think eventually what's going to happen. Let me just show you guys this real fast. You guys have probably already seen it, but I just want to kind of show this part to you. So when you get this one, of course it comes with RC, and then it comes with Ultra Magnus. This is what's exclusive to this set, just the headmaster, and of course the box. The box is made different. This will be a retail release down the road, and it's just going to be RC. But we don't know when that's going to happen. Sounds good, Dork Vader. Thanks, man. What's going on, Donald? Yeah, dude. I mean, at the rate I'll go at Raymond, I mean, Cleveland should be, have every #1 draft pick for the next 30 years. I mean, we can't win a game to save a life, which was kind of sad, especially during the preseason, because we won all of ours. Now, granted, we were playing against all the B string and the C string people, but it just kind of sucks that that we're not able to capitalize and turn it over into something better. But the problem is that it's still, it's still my team. I'm still going to support my team no matter what. Alright, and I saw it blip up for a minute, Eric. Something about the Maz 01. No, I don't have room and space for that one. It's just way too big. That's why I don't collect the big NECA 1/6 or 1/4 scale. Yeah, the biggest issue with our Browns fans is that we lost a lot of them to the Ravens when we stopped being the Browns, went to the Ravens. So a lot of the fans moved to Baltimore and never came back to Cleveland. But a lot of us still supported Cleveland. We knew they would come back as an expansion team, so we knew we'd never leave. It just sucks though. It really does, because I mean, literally, I saw a picture one day that had a jersey that had like all the quarterback names from Cleveland. It was like this long, and I should get that jersey eventually. Ah, hell no, Ravens can go away. I hate the Ravens. They're just wannabe Browns. Picking up Michelangelo and Chucky tomorrow, so pumped. That's awesome, Tim. Let me know how that is actually, for that Chucky one. I've seen it around. It's just, they're just certain NECA that I pick up, mostly Aliens and Predator stuff, or Evil Dead. Anytime there's Evil Dead or Army of Darkness stuff, I'll pick that up. Yo Joe, Nightwalker. What Transformer fig do you want Hasbro to come out next, and what class? I want Hasbro and Takari Tomy from Japan to bring out the freaking Barricade, the movie masterpiece Barricade, and it should be at least a Voyager class vehicle. or at least the same scale as the Bumblebee is. Let's see, might do a review on Chucky. Dude, I'd like to see that. Mayfex. No, actually, I have something new to show you. So, hold on. Ugh. Alright, just got this guy this weekend. So I got my Nightmare Batman finally. So, because I needed this to go with my Batman versus Superman set. Not leader, no, because Barricade should not be a leader class. Barricade should be a Voyager or deluxe size. Can Takara do an MP Jetfire, or is there still a license issue with the character? There's always going to be a license issue with Macross being the one who owned the rights to the original model. Now what Hasbro did is come back and call him Skyfire to get around that. So I think eventually we will see a Masterpiece Skyfire. But it's going to be interesting when it happens. Yeah, and Macross is my first anime. I love Macross, always have. I watched it in the 80s, you know, which was definitely different, you know, than what we got here in the States as Robotech. Hey, Wayward Hunter, what's going on, man? Yeah, but I mean, if you guys want the best Masterpiece one that you're going to get right now, this is the best Masterpiece Jetfire or Skyfire you're going to get today. You know, it's going to be the Fans Toys Phoenix, and this is one of my favorite figures of the year. It's easy to transform, and it looks like him. He's big and bulky, but it's just the right size. Street Fighter is my favorite anime movie. Which one? Are you talking about Alpha? Are you talking about Street Fighter V, the show? Or are you just talking about the old Street Fighter V movie? Have you seen the new NECA 2001 Atomic Blast Godzilla? No, I have not seen it. The only one I saw was the new, I think it was like Tech Godzilla, and that was it. Yeah, I love that Jetfire. I mean, and it's funny because my 3 top figures of the year so far, you know, of course the Transformers are going to be Masterpiece, Megatron, Fans Toys Phoenix, and then Fans Toys Galvatron. Because I mean, they just did amazing with those this year, and I wish they would just keep building them like that. I know Fans Toys has a lot more coming out this year too, especially with their Masterpiece Omega Supreme, which I will be getting. So other than that, though, I mean, there's been a lot of the discussion about the Transformers. Nate, I have a serious Transformer question. SoCal, what kind is it? And I might be able to help you out. Eric says he's not in a third party. Yeah, dude, the reason why a lot of us are in a third party is that it gives us figures that we can't get within the current Masterpiece lines, and half the time they're actually built better than the Takara or Hasbro ones. That's why a lot of us go with Fans Toys or Make Toys and so, you know, some of those. Unboxing Art's in the house. What is up, brother? Raymond, who's going to carry the Rodimus Prime trailer add-on? Are you talking about the new Power of the Prime, Rodimus Prime leader? The old Street Fighter 2. Yeah, I remember that one. Yep. Yeah, they've been killing it lately with the Storm collectibles with those. Yeah, it's kind of hard, Eric, because I mean, there's a lot of times you can go either way with a lot of them. You know, and predominantly, you know, that's my number one collection, of course, is Transformers. So I'm always going to go with that one. Yeah. So the Raymond, the new Rodimus, Power of the Prime, actually compacts all together into one. You know, it's kind of weird how they're going to do it. It's going to be like almost like a Mega Morpher kind of thing, where like some's going to be integrated into it, so it's going to be one thing. Same way with the Optimus, they're going to do the same thing. Uh, Jamie Martinez, welcome, brother. Thank you for coming in, man. Um, Tony says, isn't to make a third party train bots a bottom and heartbeat? I think all of us would. I think we all would. Which reminds me, I saw something earlier that the Encore series from Takara is coming back. They're gonna re-release the car robots, Omega. What was it? Omega, not Omega Supreme. Godfire Convoy, which is of course, from our side was Robots in Disguise, Ultra Magnus, and Optimus combined. So Omega Prime, that's what they call it. Yeah. Let's see. SoCal says it's a green LA vehicle that transforms into a base. Also comes with a small transform. Both is green, but I don't remember the name. That could have been Onslaught. I'll have to take a look. There's a. You also had a Mega Supreme that turned into a base as well, but it also comes with a small transformer airplane. Oh, you know which one that is? That is Tidal Wave from the what was it? Armada or Energon series. That's the one it was. SoCal. IE Hunter, welcome in, dude. Eric asks, why is there no Takara MP Hot Rod yet? Or not Hot Rod, Hound. Reason why? Because they're working on all the cars first. They want to get through all those, and they're going to start working on all the other ones after the fact. That's kind of why I have the Make Toys Gundog, which is their version of Hound. Not a problem, Nostalgic Dude. I'm glad I was able to help you up. I'm glad everything got there okay, too. Can't wait to see it. Overlord is on sale on bbts.com. I might have to go take a look at that. We deliver. Welcome, brother. Welcome, dude, for coming in. And let's see. So Scooney says, hold on one second. Alright. And look, yeah, the problem, Scooney, is that the Cybertron that's in the stores is the same thing as the old one that came out in Transformer Cybertron about 10 years ago. It's just in new colors. Let's see. Picked up Survival Instructor G1 Joe today. Dude, I remember those ones, man. Glad you found that one. Yeah, Solo, dude, that place is just crazy how much stuff they have. You can go for days and days in there. Frankenstein turns to Franken guns at night. Oh God, I'm glad I'm not there at nighttime. Dope Toys New York in the house. What is up, my brother? Did anybody else get that 2-pack of the Hydra? Nah. I don't know, man. It just, a lot of these legends aren't really sticking out to me. I think ever since I started picking up some Mezco and Mafex, I'm kind of out of it. Hey, Black Knight, welcome, dude. So you got the Cybertron Nostalgia. Did you get the original version or did you get the new one? I know you were looking at that one in Toys R Us recently. Unicron? Yeah, I've got a Unicron. I got the 25th anniversary Amazon one. It ain't going nowhere because that one took forever to find. I bet you are, man. Big Kid Kingpin in the house. What's going on, my brother? Yeah, the new one. Yeah, I mean, if it goes on sale, I'll probably pick it up. Just because it is Cybertron. But I mean, it's just one of those ones. Yeah, Eric, I know the feeling. I mean, I've been collecting like exclusive ones. I mean, I've collected so many of those before together. I mean, I've got all the new stuff from Mandroid series up to now. It's just, I'm starting to get, I think, going to be tailoring my collection stuff sooner and later. That's why I've been doing a lot of Toy Biz lately, because I've been wanting to get the bigger Build-A-Figures done on that. Scooney says, he says, I want to get the Venom back in black because I got the entire run. That's a great comic run, dude. I've read that. It was a good series, and it actually, kind of explained why the actual Venom symbiote was with Deadpool first before it went to Spider-Man or to Eddie Brock. Fort Max on sale. Dope Toys, I saw it for $99 on Amazon today. So if you want it cheaper than normal retail, that's about the only way you're going to get it right now. Unboxing Arc says, one day I will own a Masterpiece Soundwave. That's my next Transformer. That's a great figure, dude. I actually don't have the regular version. All I have is that clear version of it. I need to get the regular version as well. Let's see. Monroe Rain says, hey, Monroe Rain, dude. Everybody, if you get to see my last clip video yesterday, he hooked me up with a Qui-Gon Jinn and a C-3PO. Dude, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, man. You have no idea. He's a fellow Air Force guy, just like I was, you know, so big shout out to you, brother. Thank you for your service. Thank you, Nostalgic_Negotiator, for your service, too. Because, I mean, you guys are what's protecting the nation now. Thank you, guys, for what you do. Nostalgia's got the Hasbro Soundwave with all the tapes. Yeah, I had that one. I had to sell it, you know, a long time ago, and then regretted it ever since then. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Troy. Hey, welcome, Troy. Thanks for coming by. Hey, Nate, don't you collect DBZ figures? Yes, I do. I collect the SH Fig Arts DBZ figures. That's the only ones I collect. And Nostalgic was the one who actually got me started on that, because he sent me a Piccolo and a Vegeta from Japan. And I've been kind of going down a rabbit hole with them now. And then he just sent me that Goku, too. So, yeah. And if you guys saw my haul video from Frankenstein's, I got Brawly, Perfect Cell, Super Saiyan 2, Goku, Nappa, Vegeta, and Frieza. So the collection's getting there now. Let's see. Yeah, Koi is a Marine too. So thank you, Koi, for your service. I appreciate it, man. And let's see here. Anyone get the SS3 Goku? Yeah, no, it is on pre-order, I think, and it's actually a re-release from the old one with the improved joints and efforts. Beerus, yeah, I gotta get a Beerus to go with mine. Amazon 4-pack, probably not. They are just repacks of the originals. The only one that really interests me out of that whole pack is really just a Luke Cage. I appreciate that, Tim. Yeah, Tim. So if everybody doesn't know, Tim is a good friend of mine up from Canada. We've been doing trades for a while. I thank you, brother. SoCal says, "Oorah." Yeah, I know all about Oorah. Both my parents are Marines. So Scooney's repping the Army. All right. Well, thank you for coming, brother. I worked with so many Army dudes in my life, man. It's not funny. All right. Unboxing starts, dude. SH Fig Arts. Here, let me scroll up a little bit. It's just don't pardon the finger, guys. I'm just trying to catch up. Have you ever been to Canada? Yes, several times actually. I used to live in Alaska, so we used to travel through Canada all the time. I used to do training in Cold Lake, Canada, outside of Alberta, and been to Montreal, been through Quebec, of course, Manitoba, as well as British Columbia. That's awesome, Dope Toys. Tell him thank you for his service. I mean, I'm always going to be a military, you know, fire department and police supporter. I'm always going to be that, you know, because they help take care of us, you know, so it's freaking awesome. Nutworker asks, you think they should make a 6-inch Joes? And if so, what company would you pick to make them? If we did 6-inch Joes, I'd want Figuarts to do it. You know, or Mayfax, or you know, or one of those companies. Not Mattel, not Hasbro, none of those. And the reason being is that everybody else, they've been doing 3.75 figures for decades now. And that's a linchpin in the way they're doing it now. To do 6-inch would be different, you know. Let's see. Regardless says, I'm from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Well, welcome, brother. Do you need a stormtrooper from the new wave? I've been trying to trade him for a minute. I'm actually okay right now. So as you guys probably saw, I started collecting some Black Series, but I'm only collecting certain ones. Like I got the Rex, I got the Gree, I got the Qui-Gon, I got C-3PO thanks to Kyle. But I'm doing like a lot of the old yellow and blue series ones that I don't have because I got the whole 40th wave. So you know I've got all those characters, but I'm trying to get like the oddball ones out there. Like I want to get Thrawn, but I want the SDCC Thrawn. You know. Let's see. We need an import company to do more Marvel comic figures. That's the main reason I can't quit Legends. Okay, so that's a good point actually, because they don't really have the licensing set up for that because of the problems of getting imports and things done. So I think we're going to be stuck with Hasbro on most of those. Yes, G.I. Joe is a Hasbro property, but look at what they've done with Figuarts, you know, and look what they did with Mayfax, and look at what they've done with, you know, Mezco. They've Marvel licensed a lot of those out already. So I think Hasbro should be able to license it out to them as well, because they already did Star Wars. Well, Disney, you know, and Hasbro and all of them are all kind of connected at the hip, so I definitely could see it come out. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, yeah, Storm I think could do them really well too. They've been doing really good with their Street Fighter ones lately. And eventually I need to get those because they look really good. And it's the Street Fighter V, which was one of my favorite series, you know, that came out of them. Storm collectibles could work as long as they don't roid the characters out. Yes, that's very true. Because that's kind of the problem. If you guys look at between the Figuarts and then the Storm collectibles, Street Fighter ones, I mean, you got a dude just like this big, like this wide, you know, which is the Figuarts. And then you got a big, massive dude, you know, that's a Storm collectible. And I understand, you know, they're supposed to be bigger, but if you played the video game, you know that they're not that big. Let's see. Do you think a G.I. Joe versus Transformers would be a good movie? No, I don't. I mean, unless they did it based upon the new IDW series that came out over the last year or two, that would be the only one, because it's just going to be way too hard. There's too much stuff to put into that, or we end up with having just like 4 characters from each into it. So I don't think it'd be worth the time and the effort. I mean, it's a great story. I love the story, especially if you go back to the old G.I. Joe comics in the 90s and the G2 comic of Transformers. That was an amazing run. I love it. Larry Hama did an amazing job with that. But to do it from now's perspective, I don't think it would really sell that well. It would be just a money grab from Hasbro. So SoCal says, I'm hooked into Black Series. Only certain ones, dude. I think Yoda is the last hard to find Black Series I want. Yeah, I've never seen Yoda in the wild ever. I've seen a lot of the old ones, like, you know, Farm Boy Luke, you know, I saw Obi-Wan a couple of times, Darth Vader, Palpatine, you know, but never saw Yoda. SoCal says Hasbro is the best company discussed. No, they are not the best company. And the reason being is that they've lost sight with what people really want a lot out there. You know, Titan's Return was a good example of that from Transformers, is that some of us wanted Headmasters, but we didn't want a whole series just for that. You know, they just kept blowing it up, you know, and kept going and going, and it's like, okay, people are getting burnt out on it. Let me scroll up here. Stormer's doing SF2 figures soon, I believe. Yes, I did see pictures of that. They're going to have a better Akuma that's supposed to be coming out. I will probably pick that one up, because I always love that Akuma versus Ryu and then Ken scenario. And Big Kid says, I want the Storm Collectibles Mike Tyson. I saw a picture today. It looks pretty good, but if we're going to get a Mike Tyson, then we need a George Foreman, we need an Evander Holyfield, you know, we need some, and Sugar Ray Leonard and Muhammad Ali. They need to round it out, not just have one figure. Let's see. Andrew asked that. Let's see. Nope. My wife collects things with me just as much, you know. So she has things that she likes to collect. I have things I like to collect, and we try to help each other out. Um, yeah, everybody liked this video. What, you know, if you can, I appreciate it. We've got 18 people in the house, and I appreciate every one of you coming by. Um, yeah, Tim, you're right. Like I said, dude, it's gonna be bad. Um, you know, it's just, I don't know, man. I think they would have too many bad people like Channing Tatum in it, you know, and they would probably bring somebody in that wouldn't do the Transformer side right, you know, and the other catch too is that the GI Joe versus Transformers scenario, they're using the G1 characters. They're not using the movie characters. So you know what Hasbro would do? They would just take all the movie characters they have today and trash them up against the GI Joes that they already have, and it wouldn't be the right story. What is up, Venom Fang and Rashad? Welcome, you guys. Yeah, Boba Fett's it's getting up there, man. I don't know, man. I like the Resident Evil movies. I mean it's different. It's, you know, you gotta think of it this way: is that the Resident Evil movies are not identical to the video game series, and that's what they did. It's a different storyline, you know. SoCal says Holyfield with bits off a ear. No, I think that should be in the Mike Tyson one. Tim says Butterbean. Man, oh man, Butterbean. Man, I forgot all about him. Waver says we might get a new Black Series Yoda. I'm actually surprised we haven't yet. Andrew asks, are you an MLB fan? Nope, not anymore. Because all the players I watched ended in the 90s. I was actually a Reds and Braves fan for a long time in the 90s, all the way to probably the 2000s. And then all the issues happened with baseball, and it was like, no. And the other catch, too, is I'm a football guy first, you know, then college basketball. Let's see. Rocky Marciano. Every time I'm coming to America. Man, that was a good movie. I actually remember that movie. Uh, Venom's watching the old It movie. Dude, I remember the old It movie. I saw it on VHS when it came out. Back in, you know, the late 80s. Scooney, dude, thank you for coming by, man. Thank you for your service, dude. I appreciate it. Same way, Troy, dude, thank you for coming by, man. I appreciate you guys coming by out, you know, during the week. You know, I'm still trying to figure this whole thing out, you know, and I'm just having fun. My boy Omar's in the house. Dope Toys wants a McGregor fig. Yeah. Yeah, that was. I mean, I will say, McGregor is an excellent MMA fighter, but he's not a boxer. But he did an awesome job for how many rounds he stayed in there with Mayweather. Yeah, Eduardo Valero, I remember him. Nope, Goji fan. We set started around 7:30. We'll be here for a while. You definitely here. The Golden Child was awesome. Yankees look like they might see the playoffs. Yeah, they probably will. I mean, I don't know. It just got so dumb in the MLB that's why I stopped watching in the late 90s, early 2000s. SoCal's only, dude, you were bee hunting every day then. Young Gun, dude, Young Gun, man, I love Young Gun, especially Young Guns 1 and 2. Yeah, I remember Paid Vacation. Yeah, I don't get that often anymore. I want the knife, please, Dope Toy says. Yeah, I mean, it was actually, like I said, a really good fight. I mean, between the two. You could tell that he wasn't a boxer, you know, and Mayweather knew that, and he used that against him, you know, in the end of the rounds. But I mean, those first couple of rounds, McGregor was really going at it with him. Let's see. Eric said Transformers films need a reboot with new studio thoughts. No. And this is why I believe they should finish this show up. What's really irritated me during the last night was that they showed Unicron in the movie that Unicron was part of the Earth, and they just need to either finish that part up or call it a day and end it. Um, let's see Mayweather in the cage. Yeah, he won't last 5 seconds in the cage. Andrew asks, is there anything that you miss from Georgia? I miss the food, and I miss having real sweet tea. I'll tell you that. I meant going around everywhere. You know, it's funny. Like I drive around here in California with the family and go to any store. There's only like really two places I can get sweet tea, and that's McDonald's or a grocery store. You know, I used to go everywhere. Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Omar, on that one. It just I'm getting burnt out on them. You know, I mean they had some good stuff. You know what they really need to do is that they need to stop having Michael Bay direct these movies. So let's talk about that for a minute, guys. So we've got the Bumblebee movie coming out, and we have all these Michael Bay movies. The Michael Bay movies have 8 to 10 writers in it. Bumblebee's got one director, one writer. I think this movie's going to succeed where a lot of the other ones didn't because of that. Waver says I can make you some sweet tea. Yeah, I can too, man. I'm just lazy. Popeyes. That ain't sweet tea, man. That's like filtered water with a little bit of sugar. A new G1 anime? That would be good, but I mean, they've already told. So let's talk about that for a minute, because the issue I have with if they do a new G1 animated movie is that in the Japanese series, that's all over. You know, and it finished, you know, when we had the Rebirth in the U.S., of course, it changed, you know, it continued on as Headmasters, Master Force, and Victory, and then Zone in Japan. And then they were done. That was it for G1. And then that's when Beast Wars kind of took over. So I don't know if we could really do a new one unless they do a like the Cybertron War, like the War Within era, or if they do like how Transformers Prime did it, where they're connected to Fall of Cybertron, War for Cybertron. So we'd have to see. Sweet Tea in Texas. Yes, dude. I'm all about that, Venom. I tell you, every time I go down there, I usually get that, or I get, what is it? Pacifico. Big Ken says, I talked to a New Holland brewery, gave them your address. He said they sell Dragon's Milk. And another New Holland's out your way in Venice. Dude, I'm excited about that. So if you guys don't know what Big Kid Kingpin's talking about, it is a stout. It is a oatmeal stout made with beautiful, beautiful hops. You know, it's done amazingly. I always just say everybody needs to go try that. Yes, thank you, Big Kid. I appreciate it, man. So waivers to just pay me with figs. Bojangles, yeah, dude. I had Bojangles. You know, we had Bojangles, Zaxby's, all those places in Georgia, and they were amazing. Joe Toy says, give him a Go Boss. Go Boss. I can do a Go Boss, you know, one. So, Kyle, did you get the SNES? Nope. Did not. Missed out on that. Everybody was sold out. Still sold out. So I'm going to have to wait if we get a restock or something. Eric, dude, have a good night, man. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate you coming by. Tim, that's awesome, dude, that you got it. Dope Toys, I'm glad you got yours, man. Because, I mean, like I said, I went looking everywhere, and they were all gone, you know. Man, but I got lucky last time with getting the NES Classics. So, and that one actually had more limited distribution than the Super NES did. So, I got a feeling we're going to start seeing more of those down the road. It's just going to take some time, I think. Yeah, that's kind of how a lot of them were. I was at work, so I couldn't go during the day to get it. You have the NES mod. What did you do to it? Yeah, Omar, dude, you guys are in Hawaii, man. They don't have. I mean, it's the same way it was in Alaska. I couldn't find hardly anything when I lived there. Andrew, it's a toss-up. So the Toy Biz Legends, of course, were amazing in what they did. They had comics, they had Build-A-Figures that were huge. Some of them actually had more articulation than the new ones now, but a lot of them weren't made the best. So some of the newer Hasbro ones are a little bit better made as far as QC. But I love having all that extra stuff. I mean, on Apocalypse, it's this tall, or Galactus, that's this tall, versus this, 7 or 8 inches. It's one of those things. Like I wish I would have had it. Let's see. I wish they would release a complete series of GoBots on Blu-ray and DVD. That'll never happen because they never were going to get the rights to do it. Mikey's action figures in the house. What is up, Mikey? Yeah, Big Hit. I think that's why the new Nintendo Mini or NES Mini was good, because like it was HDMI, so I mean the resolution was a little bit better, but it still had that nostalgic feel as long as you had a wireless controller, because sitting with that little 3-foot controller like this, not happening. Um, let's see. Yeah, dude, I wish I still had my Super Nintendo and original Nintendo with all those games. Um, Aaron S. is living in Cali, a little bit of a culture shock. No, actually. So let me explain that for a little bit, guys. Kind of briefly talked about this last week. So I'm retired Air Force. I left from Colorado, came to California. I was working in Vandenberg Air Force Base, which is just outside of Santa Barbara. So I lived in Santa Maria for about 4.5 years. In Central Cali, and then we went to Georgia for a job, and then we came back and we decided on Ventura for the area because of my job in Simi Valley. So I'm used to the culture here. I really am, and that's what made it easy to come back. It's the same type of people that I'm with, and being in this kind of area is a little bit different than being, say, in LA, because here people are more relaxed, and it's not as it's not as fast paced. And I've met a lot of great people here, and it's been amazing. Alright, let me get back to some of these comments. Toto said he had somebody do it for me. I have over 200 games on it. Holy crap, dude. So they must have put emulation software on there with all the emulated games. I remember modding my old PlayStation 2, doing the same thing. So I could play all the bootleg games as well as all the overseas ones. Yeah. What comic movies would you like to see remade? Movie-wise, we need Fox to sell Fantastic Four to Marvel Studios and them to redo the Fantastic Four. That way it's done right. X-Men I'm not really worried about. They've actually been okay lately on theirs. But we need stuff like, the X-Force, the Deadpools, that's been coming out, that's been awesome. We need stuff like that kind of era. New Mutants. We need, we need an X Factor, movie. We need stuff like that. I mean, as far as remakes, there's really not a lot that really need to be remade right now. Because, I mean, Doctor Strange came out, which was, we had an original one back in the 80s, which was horrible. Same way with the Fantastic Four, that was horrible back then. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't think there's really many of them that I'd really remade. Now, the ones I would like to see made is Spirits of Vengeance, Ghost Rider, Blade, putting all those kind of together into a movie, that would be awesome. Dokto said I was playing Trojan and Rygar the other night. Man, I haven't heard that in a long time. Yeah, Andrea, and that's why I like the Toy Biz, just for that reason. I open up all those just for that reason, because I love seeing all that new stuff. Alright. Dope says, yeah, we need to make figures for the 12-inch line that scale to the 6-inch line, a 12-inch Sentinel. So, yeah, I agree, 100%. Sentinels, we need Galactus, we need those kind of figures, to be brought out. I think that's why they came out with Marvel Universe figures a couple of years ago, just for that reason, to try to scale those, but we need some of those as well. Yeah, I mean, that is kind of the catch, is that the 12-inch line that they have today has not been that great. I mean, the only one I really like out of all of them so far has been Deadpool. The Wolverine looks pretty decent, but they're just asking way too much money for those. I don't know how many times I can see a black suit Spidey be $60. I mean, sorry, no. That's a $30 figure, if that. Wayward. Uh, Ladders in the House, Wayward. Yeah, Renegades. So let's talk about the Renegades. That was so. If you guys don't know, there is a group of us in SoCal called the Renegades. Um, I am not a formal member of them, but I've been able to hang out with them, so I appreciate them showing me around. Especially when I first got here, Fernie showed me around. So yeah, they're a great group of guys. And if you haven't seen it, there's a Facebook page as well as a YouTube channel for them. So definitely go see them. Hulk movie. No, not unless they're going to do World War Hulk, which they kind of doing with Ragnarok this time. Mikey says he wants James and the Giant Peach to be remade. I don't know, man. I like the one that was made in the early 2000s. That was all right. Generation X. Yeah, they're kind of doing that again. Remember when Generation X came out in the 90s? It was like this one-time video or one-time movie or something like that on Fox. They're doing that with The Gifted now. That's kind of how The Gifted is. It's like an offshoot of X-Men, and they're just not really sure how to set it up properly. Venom says he wants to see a Mortal Kombat remake. Mortal Kombat was okay. They had too many sequels done with. The first one was my favorite though. Yeah, I know, Wayward. We need an updated trailer for V, the final battle. Well, actually, Omar, there was one. V was redone, I think, in the early 2000s. It was on ABC, and the visitors just weren't the. It just didn't really catch on, and I think it's because a lot of them. It was too much of a gap. We're talking about a 30-year gap between the 70s version and then the version that came out in 2000. So it was definitely a big difference. Sugar Man bath. If I get a Sugar Man, I just want it as a figure. I'd hate to have to get little bitty arms and little bitty legs and put them all in it. Andrew, do you ever feel weird in a store buying figures? Nope, not at all, people. If you like your toys and you like collecting, that's what you do. Don't feel ashamed about it. Just go out and do it. Same way, like I've been buying for years and collecting for years, but I never did, YouTube and videos for it because I was like, hey, awkward and feeling and stuff like that. No, just go out and do it. Enjoy what you want to do. Golden Axe, dude, that would be nice if they actually like a Golden Axe game on PlayStation or Xbox. That'd be awesome. Oh, come on, Rob Payne. You know you love that Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter movie. Make some better posable Tekken fix. Yeah, they don't really have anything good for Tekken. Really at all, they don't. A Yemen movie. Okay. Omar. Rob says Mortal Kombat Bat was better. I think, well, there was an animated series for Mortal Kombat, and I think that was 100 times better than the movie was. But the biggest problem that Mortal Kombat has is that it can't really do what the game does, so that's what kind of kills it. T-Hawk was the best. Yeah, and you're actually right, Nightwalker. I remember some of them, but it all depends. Like some of the Spawn figures were amazing back then. I mean, you look at Angela, you look at some of those out there. They were pretty posable what you could do with them for the time. You have to remember these were made in the 90s. How about a new? Hey, Venom, they're actually making a new Spawn movie, and Todd McFarlane's actually working on it. So I'm excited to see how that one's going to turn out. And they're saying 2018, so we'll have to see if it actually shows up or not. Big Kid, have a good night, brother. Take it easy, and thank you for stopping by, man. I always appreciate it, man. You've been with me since the beginning. All right, so guys, do you want me? What do you guys want to? Do you guys want to see anything? All right, see you in a bit, Dope Toys. Well, the question would be is what do I not have? Really? Because I mean, I've got so much stuff, and this is only a part of my collection. Um, Let me see. Oh, Showcase to show them the dragons over. You mean this guy? Dude, this is an awesome figure, I'll tell you that, man. But I will tell you the other part that sucks, it does not stay together with the crap. Like, I mean, the whole back part here will actually come apart so easily. I mean, you get like, there's like it'll have to hold friction together. I mean, I will say, the reason why you get this, though, of course, is because you combine it with the Megazord. I think you, of course, combine the Megazord with the Tinnitus. But, I mean, like I said, it's freaking awesome. I will have to say, too, I do like how the tail is, because you can, like, kind of do it like that, and it kind of sharpens it out like that. But as you can guys see, look how long this tail is. So, I mean, it takes up a lot of shelf space just for that. I got my Pennywise FYE exclusive today in the mail. Still in package. Gary, open it up, man. You know? But yeah. Yeah, the one thing I've been messing around with lately is this guy. This is Masterpiece Art Fire. Got that from Nostalgic. Yeah, you don't have any articulation issues with this one. I mean, you can do all kinds of poses with this guy. That's what I love about these Masterpiece ones. You know, I just wish they made more figures like this. Because the catch being too is that with Masterpieces they're doing die cast. Do you think Legends are overpriced what they are these days? In Canada they're $29.99 I paid. Yeah, they are getting to be overpriced. I mean, that's the catch. But the other catch too, though, is that you guys are getting them for that price, where ours are $20 here. But you guys pay a different rate, paying Canadian rates versus American rates. You know, so it's a little different as far as prices. Tim says I have the Megazord, so I need that Dragonzord. How about you send me your Megazord? Gary says I need to open up 15 boxes. Well, get to opening them, brother. Thank you, Omar. Waver says I was in Canada once. Yeah, I mean, you gotta go visit at least once. I mean, I went to the Mall of Canada and stuff like that while I was in Cold Lake. You know, going to Alberta and Montreal. You know, and just for FYI, don't go to Cold Lake, Canada unless you have to. It's just not worth it. I was there for work when I was in the service, so no, there ain't nothing there. You can have 4 seasons in one day. You know, wake up, it's cold, it's snowing, it turns to rain, the sun comes out, you're baking, and then at nighttime it's like all back to normal. So yeah, don't go to Cold Lake. But yeah. Alright. Yeah, I mean, that is kind of the catch, Andrew. Being in the military, I traveled everywhere. You know, Canada was just one place I got to see a bunch of. You know, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, South Korea. You know, the Sandbox. Make some jet grind radio figs. Oh gosh. But yeah, like I said, there's been a lot lately. I found a lot of stuff lately, you know. And a big shout out to all my boys too, you know, the Renegades, into Code 3 Collector, and to SoCal Collector for the good time we had this last weekend. And wanted to tell everybody thank you that sent Jess a happy birthday from her birthday from last week. So I appreciate it, guys. How about a Killer Instinct movie? I don't think that would sell. I really don't. I think I mean, unless it was like done by a horror place, I don't think a lot of people would understand it. They understand Street Fighter, they understand Mortal Kombat, but Killer Instinct had such a small following, you know, that was on the original PlayStation. Hey, Nightworker, there was some Killer Instinct. I can't talk. Instinct figs. There were some that were done. They were in Toys R Us. They're like a model though. That was about it. But I remember some of those. They had like a limited articulation. They were at Toys R Us. I mean, I never saw them in person ever. At all the places I've been. But yeah, it's definitely it's been interesting. I'll tell you that, to say the least, as far as what we find out here. But I gotta say, hunting here is way harder than it was in Georgia. SoCal says that articulation sucks. Yeah, that's pretty much true, Nightwalker. There's a lot of that happens in my area here. I mean, I never saw the Masterpiece Optimus Prime, movie Masterpiece Optimus Prime. They were all gone the day they were sold. Bumblebee, I at least was able to pick up in store. So I had to trade to get that movie Masterpiece Prime. Alright, so we've talked some figs, we've talked some comics today. For some hunting. That's what we all do. We do some hunting. You go get them, Maverick. I've had to do that before too, because I seen one guy. He was trying to pick up like 10 of the same figure. He took everything off of a peg. So I called him out at Toys R Us. You know, I said, because that's just. I mean, he's just willing to scalp those figures out, and you just don't do that. We're collectors, you know. Yeah, that's the catch. If you find somebody doing it, you notify everybody, because that way you know what to look for, because it's not right. I mean, and it doesn't matter what kind of figures. We're talking Legends, we're talking Trans, whatever. You know, you don't do that. It's not fair to the community, you know, and it's not fair to any kid actually. You know, if you think about it. A lot of these figures we get today are adult collectibles, but then there's a lot of figures that are scalped that are kids' toys as well, which is just sad. Because I mean, these are for kids. You don't do that to kids. Yeah, put them on the blast. Yep. Andrew says, do you ever go to toy shows, cons, and buy loose figs, or do you always go for in-box? I go to cons, and I go to toy shows, like the guys I went with this last weekend. We went to the Frankensons, which is just pretty much a toy and comic warehouse that has so much stuff that it takes forever to go through. But I'll buy a loose fig. I mean, depending on what it is. For example, I'm doing Toy Biz's Galactus, Sentinel, MODOK, and what's the other one? Giant Man. So I'm definitely going to get those mint on cards so I can open those up, you know, because it's just something about opening up an old Toy Biz, which is awesome. But then there are some that I do mint on card because they are special limited edition ones. For example, this guy. You know, I'm not opening this one because I'm not going to be able to find this one again in a store without paying a astronomical price, you know, and I don't want to buy it again. And also because this was special. This was given to me by my boy Ricky Dones. He sent this to me, so this one's going to stay in plastic. But like the Uncanny X-Force Deadpool, you know, that Dope Toys gave me. You know, I had to open him. He's just a regular Marvel legend. You know, that's why I definitely wanted to have him out of the box. You know, same way with these old Toy Biz ones. I open all of these. You know, that's the catch. Um, but I'll tell you one of the coolest ones I've got lately was this guy. First appearance, Iron Man. I mean, this is an old Toy Biz one. This is freaking awesome. You take the mask off and he actually has a face. And it's an old school comic look. It's not the MCU version, which is why I like this one. So like I said, it all varies on the actual type of figure I get. Um, but like I got Omega Red this weekend. That was the first thing I opened up was Omega Red because I went in for my X-Men collection. So we're definitely keep doing those. But yeah, there's a lot of them like that. I mean, I have a bag of. This is my bag of Build-A-Figure parts. From Sentinel to MODOK to Mojo, you name it. It's probably in here. It's also the bag I throw all my instructions in for Transformers. Yep. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate it, homie. Yeah, you're right, Andrew. Because like I said, I mean, there's some of those Toy Biz ones are amazing compared to what we have now. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of the the MCU one is different than, of course, the comic one, but we haven't really got good comic ones in years. Of Iron Man. Because I'd love to find a Hulkbuster, but with like the old one where you can take the helmet off, and you actually see who it is, or it's an armor that you put the Iron Man into and you can collapse it. That's what I would love to find, because that's what he is. It's not just a Build-A-Figure you put together. Don't get me wrong, the Build-A-Figure is great, but I mean, I don't know. I think I would rather have the Mezco one, or the Hot Toy one, but the Hot Toy one's way too much money. Alright, people. And then, so, let's talk about this guy. So, this is Shooting Swords Galore. So this guy, of course, is the new metallic, somewhat new, metallic Voltron. I'm a huge Voltron guy. I was watching Voltron in the 80s when it first came out. Goji, you haven't missed much, man. We're still here. Of course, this is just a downscaled version of the original Legendary Defender. It came out late last year. $30 a piece. I got this whole set for $60 in a box at Target. And that, if you're going to get this metallic set, then I recommend buying it in a box set. And the two things that irritated me the first is right here. Paint chipping. Right there. Good you can see it. But it's like right here and right here. Paint chipping. And it's because they did not do dual coats. Oh, and by the way, you can't actually, this is the only way you can take the wings. You cannot actually flip them outward like you can with the original one. This is the problem when you downscale figs. You don't do that like that. You keep all the same rules, same everything. Like the transformations for all these are the same things, But this is the one they should have not changed, was the wings on the back of the black line. But I gotta say, I think he's actually still not as heavy as the original one was. Alright, Goji Fan says, have you seen any Godzilla movies? If you have, which ones have you seen? I saw, let's see, Gojira versus Mothra, Gojira versus Mecha Godzilla, and what was the last one I watched? I watched the new one that came out, I think, like in 2000, but that's about it. Tim says he has the old Toynami set of the original. Dude, I'd love to have the old set. I had the original Go Lion one from Japan. Had a lot of stuff get stolen when I moved from North Carolina to Kentucky. So yeah, Gomorrah. Yeah, maybe that's the one. Yeah, I think it was the most recent one. It was okay. It wasn't the best. I mean, I actually prefer the old ones from the 50s and 60s than I did any of the newer Godzilla movies or Gojira. Um, yeah, but talking about Voltron, I mean, the new series is amazing. If you guys have not seen Legendary Defender, go out and watch it. It's pretty good, especially by today's standards. Because the old one is just, it's old animation. So it's just kind of that catch-22 is that, watching the old animation versus the new stuff, it's going to be completely night and day. It's like watching Gundam. Go watch the old Gundam from the 70s to the days, I think it's like Battle Sons or whatever it's called now, Orphans or something like that. It's night and day, so it's going to be different. But they're both good in their own rights. You plan on seeing the 2016 Shin Godzilla? I don't know. It depends. It depends if it comes out over here. 'Cause I'd like to see it. Did you find the pilots yet? No, I have not found the pilots, and I'm actually not worried about the pilots anymore because Plastic Attic did a review on them, and they were so bad as far as articulation and not being able to do much. They look okay, but their faces are way off. It's like they didn't take time to actually do the faces properly. So I am definitely passing on the pilots. I'd like to see them at least in person, but I probably won't pick them up. My biggest thing right now to find is the metallic Power Rangers. That's the ones I'm looking for the most. MASH, dude, I would love to see some MASH figs. That is awesome. That's one of my favorite shows from back then. To have a Hawkeye Pierce or have, man, that'd be awesome. How many hours a week on average you spend hunting? Let's see. Probably about 6, maybe. Venom, thank you for coming, man. I appreciate it, brother. Take it easy. Yeah, exactly, SoCal. That's the catch, is that these weren't made for people like us or adult collectors. And that's the catch, is if you want those kind of figures, then you're going to pay the extra when they actually come out somewhere else. I mean, we're talking about, these are figures done by, U.S. companies. It's not like they're done by anybody. So let's see here. Well, guys, I think that's going to be it for tonight. I'm going to call it in. Thank you guys for coming by. I appreciate it. Next week's topic discussion is going to be Transformers next week, and so we're going to try to keep it on Transformers if we can. But we'll see. SoCal SBC, the new Hulk Select. Nope, does not come out until the 5th of October. 5th of October, brother, in stores. Pre-order it. Disney Store. That's the only way you can get it right now, unless you can find somebody else that's already got it. Comic Shop might have it tomorrow though, so check out your LCS. Alright guys, so enjoy your figs, enjoy your comics. You guys take it easy. This has been Nate, your runner from Cali Nate. You guys take it easy now and have a good one. Alright, latest.